I have so many questions for you, but let's begin with number one. You are a part of CMT's Next Woman of Country class of 2021. What has this journey been like for you so far? And do you find this to be a pivotal moment and milestone in your career?
Definitely. I mean, I played for CMT 5 years ago, like right as soon as I moved to Nashville. And I just remember hearing all about the CMT Next Women of Country, and I've been to a lot of their shows and I've followed along with a lot of those artists, and they go on to be, you know, the most well-known female artists right now. So I was just super excited to find out that I was a part of that and that I get to kind of share in that group of women. You know, Carly Pierce did her video for me, welcoming me into the CMT Next Women of Country, and I just thought, you know, how cool is that she took time out of her day to welcome me into this, and there were a ton of other female artists that did the same for everyone that's a part of it this year. So I feel really lucky to be a part of that group of women and hope to learn and grow with them over the next year.
Fantastic. Well, we are so excited for you. And what type of activities have you guys been doing together?
We got to do performances for CMT. You know, we've been able to be a part of a few Zoom meetings and stuff. Actually, just last week, they sent us all cookies and we got to hang out and do like a big Zoom hang and just get to know each other, because of course it's a different year this year, not being able to do a lot of their typical events. You know, they usually have all of that in person and we all get to hang out and exchange numbers and become friends. And so now this year we just got to do a really fun Zoom hang, and I'm sure they're planning many more things over the next year to just bring us together and kind of build that community. So it's been really fun so far.
You are gearing up for your third Grand Ole Opry performance on March 19th. What songs will you be incorporating into your set, and how are you preparing for this huge performance?
Well, it's crazy because, I mean, not performing very much over the last year, I know that my nerves are gonna be a little crazy just knowing that I'm stepping back out on that stage. But I actually am thinking about throwing it way back to one of my first kind of ballads that I recorded. We actually kind of had a request from someone at the Opry for me to play a song called I Can Do the Leavin'. So I'm gonna throw it way back, I think, and do that song, and then also the single Somebody Like That. So I'm gonna be practicing all month because, you know, it's just, you gotta kind of get that back, get all of that going, get your vocals right. So I'm gonna be working towards that show all month.
That's amazing. And do you have any pre-show rituals that maybe nobody knows about?
I don't know if I really have. I try to stay away from that stuff because I feel like then if you don't do it, then you realize it on stage and you're like, oh no, something bad's gonna happen. But to be totally honest, I usually do a shot to get a little bit of those nerves out of the way, and then I'm good. It's usually whiskey or tequila. So yeah, I had a vocal coach lately tell me not to drink like colored liquors. So now I'm like, maybe tequila, but I'm like, oh, whiskey's my drink of choice, so.
Whatever makes you feel good.
Yeah, exactly.
You are climbing the ranks in Nashville. What have you learned very quickly about the country music scene?
I think for me, it's just like realizing really how small the community is. It's like, once you kind of like get your foot in the door, I mean, it's small and everybody really does kind of know each other around Nashville. They've all worked together at some point in time. Every time I run into an artist, they're like, oh yeah, you worked with this writer or this producer or whoever. Like, it is just one big thing. So you just have to be nice to everybody and, you know, just try to be super professional and be yourself. And that's probably the biggest thing that I've learned, is just try to like keep those relationships going and rely on other women in country music.
Well, it is definitely a tight-knit community in the country music scene. And since you are a Canadian country singer and songwriter, did you feel obligated to move to the States and Music City to make it in country music?
I don't know that I felt obligated to do it. I just think, a lot of it comes down to Shania Twain. I mean, I just looked at kind of how she did everything And she really kind of started in Nashville, and I just thought, you know, I want to go big or go home. So like, I'm going to go and see what happens. And if, you know, I've always been really close to Canada and been really fortunate to have a lot of country radio success up there too lately. So I feel really lucky that they're still really supporting me even though I'm here, and they understand why artists want to be here, because it's really just, it's being a part of that community, it's being a part of that songwriting community and getting to work with the most amazing people. I mean, people come here from all over the world. It's not just US people here and a few Canadians, you know, it's people from all over the place. And I think it's just a beautiful thing to have everybody here together. So I wanted to be in Nashville just because of that community and getting to work with people in person.
So I am dying to know the story behind your most recent release, which is Give It To Me Straight. How is this song different from any other singles you have dropped before?
So this song was written over Zoom, and I wrote it with Dave Pittenger and Allison Belts, who also wrote on Somebody Like That. And this was an idea that I had literally the night before our writing session. I did not know what we were going to write, and I kind of panic when I don't have anything to bring into the room. So I heard that phrase on TV or somewhere, and I was like, that's really cool, because there's two different ways that you can, you know, take that phrase, give it to me straight, a drink, or just telling somebody like, hey, don't sugarcoat things, tell me what's going on. So we immediately clicked on that idea. As soon as I saw Allison's face over Zoom, I was like, this is it. I know she's gonna love this. So we immediately just dove into that song, and I was actually listening back to some of the voice memos a few days ago, and within like 30 minutes, we had that whole chorus kind of mapped out in the beginning of the song. So it was one of those writes where it just clicked. And the production was actually the thing that's very, very different for me, because I've never worked with Dave before this song, and he produced this one. And it was just so refreshing to me. Everything that he was doing was so cool, and he got Allison and I in the room, sat 6 feet apart and with our masks on, and got to talk about what we really wanted this song to become. And there were so many cool moments where we all just clicked on something. And, you know, the big dropout before the first end of the chorus felt so cool. And he had that in the original demo. And then there was one other thing that we were like, we feel like there's a big vocal moment missing. And normally I'm just like, oh, that's okay, we don't need to do that. That just makes it harder for me to sing these songs live. But in this song, I was like, no, I think we should go for it. So we ended up putting this big note in there, and I got to perform it live recently. And that was just kind of one of those moments that felt like it brought the song to the next level. So I think I'm branching out a little bit and becoming a little bit more confident vocally and as a songwriter, and so I think that's just we're going to elevate this music.
Amazing. Well, the song is such a hit. How was it to perform it live? I
got to perform this song for CRS New Faces, and it was the first time I had ever sang that song. Hadn't even really played it acoustically or anything, and played it with the full band. And it was just amazing. It's one of those songs that I just felt immediately was super comfortable to me. Like, it just felt very natural to sing that song. And I always get a little nervous before the high note, but performing it live was really fun, and kind of getting a little bit of that nervous energy in there. It felt really good. It felt like, you know, we're close to the end of this crazy year and a half, and it feels like we're going to get back to live shows really soon, and that just like sparked a little fire in me, and I got really excited.
Absolutely. Well, I hope I can see you live and in person very soon. Fingers crossed.